Hello and welcome. We're so excited to share the beautiful authors from Sanctuary Publishing, the latest book called Nourished. You're going to learn a little bit about the authors, a little bit about what to expect from each of their chapters, and you're even going to receive a beautiful spiritual message. So before we dive into that today and you get to know them, let's learn a little bit more about what it means to be nourished, the intention behind the book, and also a little bit more about Sanctuary Publishing. Here is the founder of Sanctuary Publishing, Annette Maria.
Hello, my name is Annette Maria. I'm the founder of Sanctuary Publishing, and today I'm so excited to share with you the 12 thought leaders, visionaries, and entrepreneurs who have been a part of the multi-author book Nourished, Wisdom from Leaders Living in Flow and Fulfillment. These individuals have chosen to step forward in their lives and in their businesses, aligning to their personal choices that were right and true for them, that they stepped out of the boxes of who they should be and how things should go, and really started to live life and make the proper choices that were aligned for their inner truth. Not because of what they should do, but because of what they felt was necessary, right? What their heart was pulling them forward to go closer towards. And this book will inspire you to find a sense of nourishment within mind, body, and soul, within all areas of your life. We have authors from all around the world sharing their story here for you to dive in, and for you to be prompted by their stories to ask yourself, if you were to drop away all the shoulds, the labels, the boxes, and if you had the invitation to live life on your terms, what would that look like? And what do you got to say? So enjoy and get to know the amazing authors of Nourished.
Share your name and how do you serve?
I serve by being. By being me, authentically, truthfully, with vulnerability, moving from the heart, as many moments as I can throughout the day, and radiating compassion, kindness, and love as many moments as I can. I believe that's what we are here to discover and anchor into as human beings. And it has been a lifelong journey for me. And I feel and sense that that is what my and anyone's highest service is. That said, in the 3D world, I do provide some specific services, so to speak. I do offer guidance, support, and counseling to people who wish to change and reshape their lives. And I use a wide variety of tools and practices that I've been taught and have received transmissions of from a wide variety of beautiful teachers. Some of those are meditation techniques, external and internal energy work, Qigong, and breath work, trauma release exercises, and so on.
My name is Ashley Holmes, and I live in Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada, and I serve women who are struggling with infertility to help them to conceive with ease by connecting mind, body, and spirit.
My name is Candessa Hadsall, and the ways in which I serve are I am a nurse, a sexual healer, a sexuality educator and teacher, and therapist. And I work especially with women who have had trauma in their past or in their current lives. And my goal is to help create the most sex positive environment for everyone that we can possibly strive for.
My name is Doreen M Letofsky, and I serve by giving my clients more time to do what they love by doing what I love. And what I love is helping my clients run their business by helping them understand their financial picture and working through all the details for them.
I'm Hannah Levin, and I am an Ayurveda health counselor and yoga teacher. And my gift is taking women on a year-long journey through habit implementation with Ayurveda lifestyle and mindset changes to create their most magical lives ever.
My name is Helen Birney, and I'm an integrative nutrition health coach that focuses on helping women drop the confines of fad dieting and reinstalling beliefs in themselves that they know inherently what's good for them through a process of what I call self-discovery through health discovery.
My name is Josephine Claire, and I am a empathic psychic reader. I also coach those who want to start in the psychic biz, the spiritual business. I'm also a mentor for those who are going through transformational change.
I am Regyna Curtis, and I support you as an entrepreneur if you have left the corporate world. So that might be the world of academia, the world of even nonprofit, but corporate space or work for someone else, and moved into soul-guided entrepreneurship. And I really support you in empowering your passions and following your purpose. So we do this collaboratively, and I love to help you really understand what I call your soul wisdom. So this is your ways authentically, how you know and how you show up in the world. So that's what I love to do. I call myself a soul wisdom mentor. And that's because when I first started doing my soul guided work in the world, I really used my gifts to, people would come to me and I would tell them, I would tell you what I know about you or what I know to be true. And now I really help you know how to be true to you and how you know. So it's a lot of fun.
My name is Shannon Corn. I am a therapist and a transformational mindset coach. I help women entrepreneurs create aligned, beautiful businesses that expand their impact and their income in a way that feels nourishing and zero burnout.
Hi, my name is Sharon. I'm an intuitive energy healer, spiritual self-care coach. I help my clients find the courage, strength, and faith they need to not only design their best life, but to live their best life.
What does living a nourished life mean to you?
Living a nourished life, I recognize, can mean different things to different people. We are all unique, even though we come from the same universal energy source. And it can also mean different things depending on any given moment in our life experience. That said, I believe that feeling nourished on an ongoing, sustainable basis actually means having found a place from within where we can cultivate self-acceptance and self-love, and then learn to, so to speak, reside in the heart, being with the heart, feeling insights and intuitive guidance from within ourselves that show how to move, when to move, what actions to take in the world. And when we do that, then the experience becomes more peaceful and harmonious. And I believe that is the ultimate way of feeling nourished, namely naturally flowing with whatever is presenting itself, rather than entering into fight, flight, freeze modes that we sometimes do as humans, or having conflicts with other fellow people that we meet in the world. So this is what I have experienced from my own walking the path, and yes, I wish for anyone who feels resonance with these words to explore this by turning the attention inwards and seeing what arises as a result.
Nourished life to me is about nourishing all facets of my being, all aspects of me without leaving any part of it out, and to truly honor myself in all areas, to, not leave any piece or part of me out, to really take that time and give myself that time and that space to nourish myself, and to realize that just makes me a better human being, a better wife, mother, daughter, coach, everything. When I can show up for myself, then I can serve everybody else in my life better.
A nourishing life to me means facing the good and the bad, the negative and the positive every day with an attitude of, I have the strength to work through this, to be part of this, to rise above this, while at the same time caring deeply for myself and other people. And looking for teachers and tools that can help me on that journey, because I've found many varied teachers and processes and tools across the years that have really supported me and nurtured me, and especially given me support for taking risks, because I've taken some really big risks in my life and they have worked out well in the end. And I am the person I am today because of the experiences I had in the process of taking those risks and working through the results.
Living a nourished life means to me choosing what I do every day, getting up and making that decision to take care of what I need to that best serves me on any particular day because of whatever other circumstances are in my life. It means taking care of myself. It means taking care of the people that I love. It means making sure that I don't forget that I'm important too.
Living a nourished life for me means being fully alive. And I'm really curious about all of our potentials. And within the framework of yoga and Ayurveda, there's this concept of dharma, which is basically the belief that we're all here for a reason and that we all have a way to serve in this world. And so I'm really curious about letting go or kind of uncovering the buried treasures in each of us that allow us to live our best lives. And I think that involves serving the world in some way, but also being healthy and happy and recognizing that we're worthy of that simply by being alive. And so living a nourished life to me means not only experiencing that for myself, but inspiring other people to do the same.
Living a nourished life for me means that we drop in and we listen to what our personal true needs are. So we stop looking for external rewards, external results to micromanage or control ourselves. And we know the difference between the things that help us and the things that actually harm us. And one of the problems that I see most of the time for other women and that I saw for myself for a long time was that I thought nourishment was in some sort of a particularly prescribed diet or a prescribed plan that really had nothing to do with me and created more harm than good. And so nourished to me means that we know for a fact the things that are good for us and the things that actually harm us, and we're willing to take action on those good things for the parts of ourselves that are most important, not for a number on a scale.
To me, it means so much. Being a survivor of a lot of traumatic diseases, yes, the nutrition we eat is important, but I'm on a mission to live every drop of life I can, no matter how much time I have left. And so I want to nourish my soul. I want to nourish my body so I ultimately can enjoy every moment I have.
A nourished life for me means living in harmony with all aspects of myself and honoring my ways of knowing and being. And it goes beyond just the labels that I identify with or the archetypes that I identify with. So, I'm a creative person, I'm spiritual, I'm gifted in certain ways. But what I mean by a nourished life and what really is how I embody a nourished life is showing up in whatever cycle, whatever season, whatever rhythms and cycles are happening for me in that moment fully, and honoring what is needed in that moment, even if, a certain cycle comes back through or a certain season shows up again. I honor it in the way that it wants to be experienced in that way. And that to me is what living a nourished life means.
Living a nourished life to me is really all about truly it's being compassionate to yourself. It's allowing yourself time to take care of yourself. Whether that means, for me, it means nourishing my body with the food I eat. It means allowing for movement and time of quiet and self-reflection. It means that it's okay for me to take care of myself, that I don't have to sacrifice myself to be loved, to take care of others. While it's very important to me to support others, it's allowing myself to come first, because I know that I can't pour from an empty cup. So if I'm not living a life that supports me mentally, physically, emotionally, then I can't make the impact that I want for others. So it's starting with self, really. It's knowing that I am deserving of love just the way I am, and treating myself and having a loving relationship with myself.
What can the reader expect from your chapter?
In reading my chapter, you will, first of all, hear a little bit about my life, some portions of my life where, on the surface, in the general world, I seemed very successful, things were going very well, and yet there was a deep sense of unfulfillment, dissatisfaction within me, in my heart. And I'm sharing a little bit about that journey and how that shifted, what happened, and how I moved out of that to where I am today. I'm also sharing what I believe to be ways in which we can go about changing our lives, and why. What is the motivation for that? So ultimately, what I'm hoping to convey with the chapter, and also with the whole idea of being part of this beautiful book project, is to inspire and encourage anyone who feels that their life isn't as fulfilling, as nourishing, and as rejuvenating as they would like. Because there are ways to change that, and there are many people that can support you in that change, should you wish to, from inside of your heart.
The message would be that you can nourish yourself in all phases and stages of your life, and the breath can truly be your anchor, your wisdom, and can be what takes you through any challenges in your life. And it's what we enter with our first breath and what we leave this earth with our final breath. And it truly has changed my life when I could tap into my energetic body and fuel the life force within me.
What readers can expect when they read my chapter in Nourished is a story about my life experience with postpartum depression 40 years ago, and the realization I had recently that that is what happened at the time that I chose to move away from my marriage and my children. And I talk about all of the various ways in which I've been confronted and shamed by that experience, and the ways in which I've overcome those by going deeper into myself, understanding more about myself. And I'm hoping that that will be an inspiration for other people who may have had concerns or fears about stepping away from whatever script you believe society has put together for you, and out of fear, not stepped into your own true self. I'm hoping that people will see that courage builds on that experience, even if it may look negative in the beginning.
Readers can expect to see how one act of survival by my mother set the tone for my life, and how I was going to make sure I survived better than she did, and that I would never be in her position.
In my chapter, I weave together both my personal story of my own health struggles and mindset challenges, along with some really simple and easy to implement wisdom from Ayurveda that readers can put into use in their own lives to experience health benefits and feeling better in their lives without drugs or procedures.
When readers are reading my words, my intention is to bring them through my own personal process of many different stories in my life that were really cries for help that I didn't realize at the time until later looking back. And as you go through these stories, you may see parts of yourself. It may seem unfamiliar, but what I want to encourage people to do is to try to make those small connections in their life where they feel like, oh, I've really been there before and I understand what she's going through. When we spend our lives looking at our bodies and our physical selves as the problem, we ignore a lot of the very important, subtle parts of ourselves inside that really need help, whether it's feeling like we're in a comparison mindset, or we're procrastinating, or we're feeling blame. We tend to put that on something that makes sense. And for me, in my whole life, it was always about my body and dieting and losing weight, and really threw me through a loop. So my hope is that for any reader that goes through reading all of these tiny stories and moments, that they begin to see the parts of themselves that maybe they hadn't felt like they were ready to listen to yet, and that you can come to a place where you feel like it's time to listen, unravel all that, and uncover some of the parts of yourself that truly need to be healed, so that you can have the physical body and vessel to take you through the rest of your life.
I take them on my journey through having a heart attack. I throw you on the ground and make you think you're dying a heart attack when I was only 48 years old. And as things worked out, I survived because my husband just happened to have been laid off that morning and he found me. So I'm going to take them through that. I was healing physically just fine, but emotionally, I was a wreck. I was a mess. And I had to find a process for myself that worked. And I did, through a very short Buddhist prayer that simply starts with, "May you be at peace." I have a notebook that I've collected over the years where I keep my prayers and inspiration and just motivational things. And when I opened it, that little prayer hopped out. And to tell you the truth, I had never remembered putting it in there, but it saved my soul, is how I would put it. It also allowed me to accept my true nature and move into this career that has been so fulfilling. And every day I get to hear, I help people. That's what I want for whoever reads my chapter, is to find their journey.
My chapter is the story of how I got into the conversation with my own soul wisdom. And it happened through the language of dreams. So when I was 6 years old was the first time I remember having a lucid dream. And I've always had these really vivid dreams. So my chapter takes you on an adventure through this unfolding conversation that's happening. And it's from the perspective of my inner dialogue. So sometimes you don't know, are you in a dream? Are you awake? What's happening? Is this real? And that's really what my experience has been throughout my life. So I wanted to write it from that perspective so that you got to experience it in that way. It's a lot of fun, and also really interesting how like the conversation unfolds and becomes more complex over time. So I hope you enjoy it.
Readers can expect to experience really the journey from pain and from insecurity, and really just feeling like your value is just tied to what you achieve, what you do, and really watching how someone moves from that place of self-doubt and really lack of self-worth, and what it looks like to transition into a place where you understand that your value is just because you exist. It's not contingent on how you achieve or what you do, but just because you are. And in that state where you understand your inherent value, it allows you to show yourself love, to show yourself compassion, and to live a life that just feels good and is easy and in flow.
My hope is that each reader realizes that the most important person in their life is the person staring back at them in the mirror. Love and understand that person, and together you can co-create a beautiful life.
What would be your inspirational message for the reader, the viewer, or the listener?
The inspiration and message is that during these times, many of us are having challenging moments. In fact, for you, maybe some of those moments are really long. Maybe there are days, weeks, months, even years at the moment where it's feeling very challenging or almost too difficult to bear. I'm here to share that this seems to be part of the human journey, the experience that we're having on Earth, and particularly right now when there are very strong energies coming from the cosmos onto this planet, and we are certainly feeling it. So I wish to convey that it is possible to be part of what we're going through here on the planet right now, and yet find ways from inside out to shift our relationship to that, shift our perspective, and how we anchor ourselves internally such that we do not need to experience suffering with what is happening, but rather there are ways in which we can learn to discover, to relate with this from a more bright perspective, a more light perspective, a more easily flowing with whatever is occurring moment by moment. And by doing so, the experience internally changes, and there can be more peace, harmony, balance, joy, and positivity arising from within you by itself. And when we live that way and we move that way from the heart in the world, then the seeming reality that we seem to have outside of us also changes, and it responds to us differently. So this is what I'm wishing to convey, inspire, and offer up for anyone who feels that that is right for them right now.
Know that they have the true nourishment within, and to realize how to tap into it, how to access it, and how to truly live their most nourishing and vibrant life in mind, body, and spirit. So it's not external, it comes from internal, and learning to tune into that intuition, that wisdom, and being aware and mindful of everything that is happening in their lives, and making those shifts and changes when needed.
The one thing that I would like people to hear from my story is that you are always stronger than you think you are, and that you know you are, and that the universe will always come through in amazing ways. But trust is very important, even when it's difficult.
Learn to spend time with yourself and understand what your soul wants and learn to trust your truth, even if it seems really wacky and crazy.
I would say you're not stuck, no matter where you are and how frustrated and alone and challenged you may feel, that there are lots of possibilities and changes that can happen in any realm, body, mind, and or spirit.
Stop weighing yourself to find the truth and pause and see if you can listen to what you actually need.
What I hope for the reader is that they learn to find peace within. That ultimately is what we're looking for. But it's that soul work, that transformation from war within to peace within. And that comes with accepting your true nature, who you truly are at your core.
So my personal advice, and the advice that I would give to my past self again and again, is that until you trust how you authentically know things, no teacher or tool or anything that you try to experience from outside is going to give you the confidence that you desire.
My one-line message is that you're enough, that you don't have to do anything to be worthy of love.
An inspirational message. Don't get stuck in the past or caught up in the future. Live your best life now. I'm a firm believer that if the dream is in you, it's for you.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. And don't forget to follow these amazing authors out on Amazon, also the place where you can purchase your copy of Nourished and other great books from Sanctuary Publishing. And remember, all book proceeds do go to the charity Water. And to the two authors who were missing from this video presentation, you have not been forgotten. And remember too, if you're feeling called to make a deeper impact through sharing your personal story, Sanctuary Publishing is truly here to serve you. So reach out to Annette Maria. Her link is in this post. So thank you again. Have a fabulous day. Namaste. Jeannie Lynch signing off. Bye now.